Yeah, man.
Buffed. Killer energy that won't kill you. Valid.
We're back. Fight Show
What's
episode
up,
29.
man?
Hey, what's up? Fight Show episode 29. Powered by Buffed Energy. You see Bill there with his nifty little... Oh, he's got all the buff shit. Buff swag everywhere. Buff.energy/Fight Show. Fuck cans get buffed. It's definitely good stuff. What do you think of the Buffed Energy, Bill?
I dig it, man. I dig it. I'm actually entering a phase in my life where I got some new goals that I want to accomplish. And as we've discussed here before, I'm a swing shift worker. So other energy drinks and stuff have been a big part of my diet, and they shouldn't be. I'm digging the less sugar and the less bullshit in Buff, man. I really enjoy it. It's good. As opposed to other energy drinks.
I'm definitely doing a lot of late night content lately, and I played around with nootropics and stuff before. Well, I'm sharing this stuff out to these groups. I've done the nootropics and stuff before, so anything usually with a nootropic in it, I'm anxious to try, and I'm glad we partnered with them. Fight Show powered by Buffed. But enough paying the bills, bud. UFC 300.
Dude, could that have gone any better for Dana White?
It was weird because you're sitting there a couple weeks out and you're like, man, this card is pretty deep. And then the internet was like, the internet, all the fans, whatever. It wasn't there. And then like that press conference hit and that shit went into hyperdrive.
I'll tell you what.
Joe Rogan said it live on the air. Joe Rogan was like, I couldn't sleep the night before. Like, I was so excited for this card, and I can only imagine being involved. You already have a certain level of anxiety because you got to go to work the next day. But fuck, that card delivered. I can't. There's not. No, I got no complaints.
You saw, bar none, the best knockout probably in UFC history, and probably in mixed martial arts history. And I'm taking into account the venue, the card, the crowd, the magnitude of the event, the fact that he was winning the fight, and for whatever reason, he decided to roll the dice and give Justin Gaethje a chance to win. We probably saw Max Holloway deliver one of the and Max Holloway, we've all watched him over the years. You know, that guy has a certain level of swag about him from when he was like fighting Kelvin Cater and screaming, "I'm the best boxer in the UFC." Max Holloway will never fight at the Apex again. That's for sure. You know, people forget where he did that whole "I'm the best boxer in the UFC" thing, and that was at the Apex where the crowd was quiet. Max is a bona fide star after this shit, man. I mean, you could. He wants to run it back with Conor. He's being pretty vocal about that shit. You know, we'll see how Conor's fight goes. What's up?
He's got so many options right now, and I mean, if you take, we could sit here probably spend the next hour, the entire show. Yeah. Talking about Max Holloway.
What a man. What a man.
for 4 out of 5 rounds, I mean, because you can arguably say that Gaethje won the fourth. You know, Gaethje had the fourth. But for 4 out of 5 rounds, you clearly showed that you were the better fighter. And at 10 seconds left, you said, okay, it's BMF time. And now you showed everybody you're the baddest motherfucker. And hey, Justin getting his nose broke that early in the fight made just so many things that, like I said, we could spend an hour talking about fucking Max Holloway.
I'll tell you what, and you haven't heard this a lot in the internet group chats, and you haven't heard this on social media a lot. Shout out to Justin Gaethje for trying to win. The reason he got knocked out like that is because he tried. There are so many guys who, when Max Holloway pointed to the center of the ring, would have said, you know what, I'm down big time in the fight. I'm not going to win. The only thing here is to, this is all risk of me being a MMA highlight on the wrong end forever. Justin Gaethje went in there and stood in the firefight, and he tried to take his shot to win. And he paid the price, But shout out to Justin Gaethje. Justin Gaethje could have packed it in with 10 seconds left and just decided not to engage. He really could have. You know, I've been in fights before, and that final minute is coming, and I know I'm beat. I'm just trying to survive. You know, I know I'm not going to win, and I'm trying to survive. I don't know that. I've seen a lot of stuff floating around on social media with Max Holloway pointing to the ground, and it said nobody will ever accept this invite again. You know, it's like shout out to Justin Gaethje for taking his shot to win. He's still a complete badass. Just man, Max Holloway is really, really, really fucking good. You know, probably the greatest.
Hold on, give me 1 second.
Yeah, no.
I was sharing it. It's throwing 3 different voices in my head at once, and I don't know where we're at. Give me a minute. Yeah, I didn't mean to cut you off. Yeah,
I've been watching MMA since the beginning. That's the best knockout I've ever seen. I don't think I can name one that tops that, just because of the magnitude of the event. You know, $300,000 bonuses going around. Like, you know, that's probably the best knockout I've ever seen.
Well, and at the end of the day, and I'm sure there's going to be people in the comments contesting this because we talked about it. Justin Gaethje got pay-per-view points.
Okay.
So I'm sure he's off nursing his wounds somewheres with half that fight of the night bonus.
Yeah.
Plus the pay-per-view points, plus his purse, plus any discretionary stuff that they were given. Like
what, dude? That guy's wiping his tears with $100 bills and hot chicks.
Yeah.
Just some chick. I saw it online. Some chick, like it had to be within 2 hours of the fight being done, took a picture of Justin Gaethje in their hotel room together. A total dime. You know what I mean? Like
that was this girl. He's
yeah, and somebody said he lost, but did he though? You know.
No. I mean,
yeah, he lost the fight, but like
how many times are you gonna get knocked out like that, get an additional $300K? Shout out to Max for $600K, but how many times are you gonna get knocked out like that and get $300K? Like
that was man, that delivered, you know. And then oh my god, we'll get to it later. The main event, holy shit, that's another one.
Yeah,
what a badass that dude is.
We can hit it. I'm not even gonna pull it up on the screen, but we'll just run it back through. And real quick before we forget, we'll probably touch again, but so we don't have to touch base on Max. Shout out to Max Holloway for coming up in weight and having that fucking power. Not a single person expected Max to have that power.
You know what? He is. He's known as a volume puncher, not so much a knockout guy. You know.
And he came up to 55, and the guy's got the Conor rematch. Realistically speaking, he's in talks for the top half of 45 in title contention. You know, you got Poirier versus Makhachev was announced, so that's playing out in 55.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, Cody Garbrandt, Davison. This didn't go the way I was hoping it would have went. I had a few fights where I wasn't really pulling for anybody because I was just appreciating the magnitude of the event, but I really wanted to see Cody notch up another one. Didn't happen that way.
Yeah, you know what? I was surprised. I thought Cody was doing real well on the feet, and then I didn't really think Figueiredo's ground game was all that good. And like Cody, I don't want to say Cody looked lost, but he just didn't. He wasn't as successful as getting back to his feet as I thought he would be. Yeah, I thought Cody was doing pretty well on the feet. You know. Yeah,
definitely a misstep on there, but you know what? I think Cody's got a couple more fights left in him. I don't think we got him going anywhere. Bobby Green, Jim Miller. Win or fucking lose, I am team Jim Miller from now till eternity, bro. You can't. How can you hate this guy? Like, how can you hate Jim Miller?
Nobody hates Jim Miller. Are you fucking kidding me? Nobody hates that guy. That guy doesn't get hate online or anything like that. People love that dude. Shame. The biggest fumble of UFC 300. Give that man the motherfucking mic for 20 fucking seconds. You know, the biggest fumble of that event. Give that guy 20 seconds. Nobody's ever going to do that again. Nobody's going to be around for this 100, that 100, next 100. It's not going to happen. You know, it's not the way this day and age moves. And, you know, nobody's going to fight at UFC 400, 500, and 600. That's not, I don't think careers are lasting more than 10 years anymore, you know?
No, it's definitely different than it was. And he came up during that time. Like, it's just, it's the cool, like I said, to live that long in the space, you're across eras. You know what I'm saying? Like,
here's the deal. If you're good enough to be in the UFC for 15 years, you've made enough money to retire, and you've probably retired. You know, and you're probably a multimillionaire. You know, if you fought in the UFC for 15 years, That means the UFC likes you. You put on good fights. You put on competitive fights. You're fighting top level guys, and you're entertaining. And at that point, there's money in it now. No, there's no guys hanging around the UFC for 20 fucking years anymore. 15, 20 years, however long. Whenever Jim Miller's first fight was. Bruce Buffer, I still fucking love Bruce Buffer, but how the hell? I understand Bruce Buffer wants to be considered a professional. How could you not introduce him as Jim fucking Miller?
Somebody had a thought, and it would have worked, and it could have, just because people are like, oh, and you see people giving guff on this, like pushback. Well, he's saying he's being a professional. Why are you giving him? Look, there's a meeting point in the middle. Just because he wants to stay professional, he can keep his professionalism and honor Jim's wishes. All he had to do was pause, and that fucking crowd would have taken care of the rest of it. Tanner Canada, our new welcome to the team, Tanner. As if you guys did last week, Tanner's gonna be doing some more content with us.
You know what? That would have been really cool too. If Bruce Buffer would have put out on social media, I'm not gonna swear because I care about what children think about me. I'm going to say Jim. I'm gonna pause for a second and say Miller. The crowd can say whatever they want. That would have taken off viral.
I mean, you look at professional wrestling. Right. If you follow any type of professional wrestling, these guys got it down to a science where and again, this was unrehearsed. It's different than The Rock coming out and doing his shit every week or whoever, these guys, any of these newer guys coming out, they got the crowd feeding out of the palm of their hands. All you would have had to do was put word out throughout the arena that he's going to put it out on social media. If they really wanted to honor it, they could have the UFC could have put it out on social media and said, look, there's going to be a pause. Everybody in the arena, we want you to say fucking.
Yeah.
And they could have done it, and that place would have erupted. But regardless.
Or you know what? I also, dude, you're 100% Garrett. I didn't even think of that, man. You fucking nailed that. He absolutely could have said that. I also would have said, okay, Bruce, if I was Dana White, I would have said, Bruce, I honor your request to remain professional, and that's not what you want to do. Joe Martinez has this one. Joe, do you want to be? Because Bruce Buffer is going to be around another 5 or 10 years.
Jim Miller, UFC 300. You're not. Fuck that. No, it's got to be Buffer. Start to finish, it's got to be Buffer. It's UFC 300. You can't. No, you can't even entertain. The only entertainable thing was either he said it or he allowed the crowd to say it. Other than that, I mean, it is what it is. It's a stupid menial point, and I'm not going to sit here.
No. But you know what it is? You know what it is? It's 30 years later. Here we are. As a fan base, as a business, the MMA fans from 1995, we're a brand of people that have never done what society told us to do. We didn't say, oh my God, you can't say that, or oh my God, what will the corporate sponsors think? We liked what we liked. We didn't bend. We didn't break. We said, this is the style of fighting I like. ESPN for years didn't want to cover this shit. Politicians fought this shit. We did what the fuck we wanted to do, which, by the way, is the only way to live fucking life. Do what the fuck you got to do. We didn't bow down to corporate sponsors. I wish Bruce Buffer would have. I wish he would have hit it, man.
Here's something to consider, though, and we touched on this the other week. TKO, the TKO deal, the Raw Netflix deal. Raw's going to Netflix. WWE's going to Netflix.
Okay.
Can you imagine the creative, the stuff that they're able to do? The stuff you don't have to worry about cursing after the post fight. You could fire the bleep button guy because it's going on Netflix. Like there's a lot of things that can be done with them changing. And again, we're at the point where if you'd have told me 15 years ago that, before I was even really, it wasn't even legal in our state 15 years ago. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And if you're telling me that they're going to be on ESPN, I'd have told you, I was like, nobody's ever going to fucking, nah. They've surpassed that. Like, cool. You're on ESPN. You're on ESPN when states wouldn't even allow you to compete there. You've established that. You've done it. The landscape has changed. Now the next thing is the freedom of these guys to be able to just be themselves. Or you're already starting to see like the colored shorts trickle and you're seeing a few more of these things, and I don't think we're ever going to see banners back again. But with social and a lot of these guys and a lot of them embracing it the way they are, you're seeing a lot more of these guys. You have the access. We've talked about it time and time again on the show about the access you have to these guys. If you live in Coconut Creek, Florida, and you want to train MMA, if you're that diehard of a fan, you want to try it, even if it's just for fun, you don't want to fight. You're training in the same gym with these guys. Like it's,
I'll tell you what. Let me light a little fire under you. Let me give you a little insight here. You know what? ESPN, they still don't fucking like you. ESPN still doesn't like me. ESPN still doesn't like fucking mixed martial arts. They fought this shit so hard for so long. You know what? They said there's too much money to pass up. Let's get involved. We don't like these motherfuckers, but oh my God, the money. Fuck these motherfuckers at ESPN and their politically correct bullshit and their leftist woke shit. And oh my God, you can't swear on TV and you can't say this and you can't say that. Fuck ESPN. You took the deal. You went with it strictly because of cash, not because you like this shit, because you saw so many people were fucking paying attention. ESPN tried to bury this shit for a decade. Fuck you, ESPN.
You can also look at the space of the sport. The UFC in 2024 is not the UFC in 2005. It's a market. It's there's so much money in this, and it's alluding to your point with ESPN. Like, yeah, it
they
blew
still
up.
Fucking hate you. ESPN hates you. They hate your demographic. They hate what you stand for. They hate your politics. But you make them so much money that they have to do this for you. Fucking greedy bitches. Fuck them.
Yeah, well,
that's my little early ref rant. Fuck ESPN. They fought this shit and they didn't cover this shit for years because oh my God, this is like it's not like the social norm. And now there's so much money they can't fucking deny it, so they get on board. Fuck you.
Well, here's the kicker. If they're smart with TKO already having an established media presence, if they're smart, they will fucking cough up even more money because I'll tell you right now. The bump they got when they went to ESPN, right? I don't need my ESPN Plus subscription. I need my ESPN Plus subscription. I pay for it every month. Honestly, the only reason I tune in is the UFC. I'm not watching PFL. It's Disney Plus bundle. I got Disney and Hulu for the kids, and ESPN Plus naturally came in that bundle. Before I did that, I just had Disney Plus for the kids. Like I didn't care. I got it for the UFC. If the UFC goes to Netflix, me and a fuck ton of other people. You know why? Because UFC produces everything and they send the feed to the UFC. So when I get on my ESPN Plus app and try and stream shit, that's not Dana's team that's letting us down. That's not the UFC production team that's letting us down. That's the fucks at ESPN. So I will gladly never log into ESPN again and I don't watch sports like that. I don't. I watch combat jiu-jitsu, I watch jiu-jitsu and MMA. That's it.
I would love it if Dana White if the business workings that be came up with some other plan and Dana White publicly came out and said, you know what, ESPN, you tried to bury us for years. You didn't have our back for years. When you realized there was so much money in it, you had to get involved. I used you as a stepping stone. I now have something better than you. Fuck you, ESPN. We'll never come back to your fucking shitty ass network. Fuck you guys.
Bill's thumbs down to the ESPN.
Yeah, dude, ESPN hates you. They hate your demographic. They hate your politics. They hate the way you think. But they can make some money off you, so they cater to you. Fuck ESPN.
Bill's opinions and views do not necessarily reflect the views of Fight Show and the Fight Show Nation. No, but I'm agreeing. Like I'm not. There's no reason for me to have ESPN if they move to Netflix, and I hope they move to Netflix. If they move to Netflix and pump my subscription up another $10 to watch it, I'll do it because it is what it is. I think with the right amount of money, you could see these pay-per-view prices possibly drop. I don't think they're going to drop them because they're getting what they're getting and they know.
Hey, I don't need ESPN Plus for shit. Ahoy, matey.
Yeah, ahoy, matey.
Ahoy, matey. Arr.
Deep Throat joined us this
I don't
week.
need you for shit. Hey,
Brent, were you working an event? You were noticeably missing from the live show last week. They figured you were working an event. Jessica Andrade, Marina Rodriguez. And can I say the mutterings around social were, normally with the chick fight in the middle of the card, they're like, you still got I took a nap. I just went out and took a nap. I ran to the store and got more beer. I was correct. Brett was at USKA Fight Sports.
Okay.
Andrade and Rodriguez wasn't a bad fight. I mean, it didn't. We were live. We sat through the whole thing. We didn't leave. So
yeah,
pleasantly surprised. I think again, it's the women's strawweight, so it's kind of like, yeah, you either really like it or you really don't. Fuck up of the night.
Andrade fights to finish. I do like that about her.
Yeah. And she's got a bunch of records. She's got She said they threw some stat out. I was like, oh, okay. And I don't really, again, I'm not paying attention a lot to the women's strawweight division. That's my bad. But sorry for all you women's strawweight fans out there. Fuck up of the night definitely goes to Jalen Turner. Hanato Moicano, buddy. The kid's a problem.
Jalen got what he deserved. Why would you walk off because you knocked somebody down? Finish fight.
I think had there not been a $300,000 bonus in play, Jalen wouldn't have walked off like that. Just
finish the fight, bro. First of all, I will never forgive him for costing me my $20 versus Dan Hooker. Jalen Turner. I had his back versus Dan Hooker, and he just folded. Whatever.
Of all, don't bet against Dan Hooker. I mean, he doesn't win all the time, but it's Dan fucking Hooker.
Yeah. So Jalen Turner, I'm glad he got knocked out of the top 15 because he doesn't deserve to be there.
We're getting there, Brent. Just wait. Hold, please. We haven't got there yet.
No, he didn't.
Tell stories on this show. We're like two squirrels looking for a fucking nut. We got ADHD. It's cool. Now, Money Moicano came back. I'd say comeback of the night. Money Moicano, when I saw that fight, I said, oh, this is comeback. If you're going to be like, oh, comeback of the night. Comeback of the night. But then
that guy is turning himself into a star. He really is, man. He's
embracing social. He's putting himself out there. He's not. And you have two different schools. You have two, but you have.
He gets.
You have Moicano, who's doing the social, doing the podcast. He's hot take on the mic. Everybody was looking forward to the post fight. But then you have the other side of that superstardom, which is Alex Pereira, who we'll get to in a couple minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Chama. That's all. Really, what do you got? That's all he's got. But his personality, bro. Guy is a superstar.
He is. He's like almost like the next coming of Nate Diaz. I don't think he's good enough to ever win a title, but my God, I want to see the dude fight.
No, you can't even say he's the second coming of Nate Diaz because Nate Diaz, his lack of mic skills, he's still parlayed on his lack of like being a social. Nate Diaz is not a social butterfly. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It's the same way with Moicano. You can't even understand half the shit the guy says sometimes. You really got to pay attention to it, but it's money. And there's no pun intended. It's money. Speaking of that, Diego Lopez doing what he did to Sadiq Youssef, I was a bit surprised about that. I'm sleeping on Diego Lopez. I'm not kind of as keen and up to date on Diego Lopez as I should be.
I will tell you what, when he came in and fought Mozvar Ivalov, was that the guy's name? When he fought him as I think Diego Lopez was, he was probably like a plus 1,200 favorite, which for everybody that doesn't know, this guy was a huge underdog, and he fought with like heart. He didn't fight like he was going to get the floor wiped with him, I will tell you what, I was super, super impressed with that guy. One, his mullet is fabulous. I mean, that's, dude, if I could rock hair like
Ray Longo said that's his Samson, like his haircut. If you cut that kid's hair, he never wins another fight again. He said it's the hair.
That guy's, dude, it was feathered, it was fluffed, that guy's just slaying dimes over, wherever the fuck he's at, he's slaying dimes. But man, the kid can fight, and he's aggressive, and he's really, really good, and he can stand, and he's good on the ground, and he could be a future superstar, And I'm sure Dana White and his people know this. I'm not dropping some news bomb that nobody knows. This guy, he could be something special. The guy fights, man.
Yeah. No.
I was super.
Here's the deal. We say this all the time. If you're in the UFC and you make it to the UFC, you're not a slouch. Mm-hmm. Sadiq Youssef has been around the UFC, came up to the regional scene. I think you might have even reffed him a couple times down there at Strikeoff because I know he fought down there.
Once or twice. I was in there with him at least once because Lloyd Irvin is his coach, and he came from the Virginia scene. I think I might have refereed him as an amateur one time.
Yeah,
I'm not sure if I ever got to referee him as a pro. I can't remember.
Yeah, I know he fought pros on the Strikeoff card. I don't remember who was down there.
No,
Kayla Harrison. Harrison with the Vitor back. I love that. Joe Rogan said her back looks like Vitor Belfort. So that was probably my favorite moment of that fight. Making it look easy against Holly Holm, and Holly Holm doesn't allow people usually to make it look easy against her, even when she loses.
Well, I'll tell you what. Kayla Harrison was like a minus 700 favorite, maybe minus 600 favorite, something like that, and she made it look like that. That's what you're supposed to do when you're minus 600. It's not supposed to be some fucking nail biter. Like some of these other pussies that fucking fight, and other things. If you're minus 600, minus 700, you're supposed to make it look easy. And Kayla Harrison did, And I saw on social media after the fact, which was a little disappointing to me, Amanda Nunes got online and started like, oh, why didn't you say my name? Why didn't you say my name? Chick, and I love Amanda Nunes. She's awesome. Women's GOAT. Chick, you're retired. Why the fuck would she say your name? Why would she mention you? You're not even a fight that's going to happen, You're retired. And
she's coming out. No. If Kayla Harrison, first of all, and let me say this, I pay a little bit more attention to the women's bantamweight. Not as much as I should, to be especially talking about it online, but
okay.
I've always been Ronda, going back, you're going back to Gina Carano and Strikeforce, Elite X. Like, I've never not been a fan of women's MMA. There's just certain times I don't follow it. Kayla Harrison, and I'm a fan of Rocky's. Like, Rocky deserves it. I was hoping she would have kept the title and defended it. Kind of did this nice little run. Kayla Harrison's winning that title from Raquel Pennington.
Oh, for sure.
And then Amanda Nunes. Then Amanda Nunes is coming out of retirement, and that's going to be an interesting fight, and I will tune in for that. And
listen, Kayla Harrison, she is alpha as fuck. That chick is like dominant,
Yeah.
Yeah, I would love to watch that.
No, sorry. You say this, and the thing that popped in my head, there was a meme that said, Kayla Harrison's the girl that you go on a date with, and she makes you pay for dinner, and then tells you to leave at the end of the night, and you pay for your own Uber, and she's at your house. Like, it was just some crazy shit like that. It was fucking hilarious. But yeah, Kayla Harrison is
she's a badass. No, she's a badass.
Yeah.
Listen, women's MMA right now is lacking that Ronda Rousey, Amanda Nunes type star. It could be Kayla Harrison. I don't know what she would have to do. That's up to the UFC team to sit down and figure out, all right, how do we give this girl the push that she needs? Kayla, the women's MMA needs a star right now. I mean, unless I'm drawing a blank here, who's the biggest star, the biggest draw in women's MMA right now?
Probably Kayla Harrison coming to the UFC and fighting on 300 is probably, if you were to like say, hey, what's the most talked about women's MMA topic right now? It's Kayla Harrison.
Okay,
it's not
that's
Cyborg.
The thing.
It's not Cyborg. It's not Penchenko or whatever the fuck her name is from the PFL.
I think if I'm Dana White, this is what I do. I pick up the phone and I call Amanda Nunes and I say, are you interested in coming back for UFC 303 at the Sphere with the Conor McGregor on the card? You're going to make like $2 million, $3 million, $4 million for this fight, whatever it is. They didn't push it. They're not pushing Shevchenko. She's had a couple really, really dull fights the last couple. It's just, and it was very, very mild. But if I'm Dana White, I pick up the phone, I call Amanda Nunes, and I say, do you want to fight in what we're going to push as the biggest fight in women's mixed martial arts history between you and Kayla Harrison? Probably, you could probably get away with, I don't know, either co-main event or the fight right before the co-main event. And if Amanda Nunes says no, then I'm calling Chris Cyborg. But I want to make the Nunes Harrison fight.
Cyborg's still under contract. You're not calling Chris Cyborg.
Oh yeah, that's not going to work. I try and make the fight with Nunes.
Kayla Harrison, Amanda Nunes coming out of retirement for the title. So if
that's a huge fight.
I'd say Kayla Harrison, Rocky, maybe next. I mean, again, you have to consider the established. You have to consider the established resume she's already had. Okay, fine. Worst case argument. And again, it's not. Give her one fight. Give her a tune-up fight, and then give her Rocky.
Listen, if I'm Dana White, we will do Pennington Harrison if we have to. The fight I want is Harrison versus Nunes.
Harrison versus Nunes doesn't happen unless Kayla has that belt.
All right, that's fair. Fair.
I mean, really, what can you say to that? Like, check.
That's fair.
Like, you can't.
That's fair, but I'm trying to put that on the Sphere card,
Yeah, you don't. What? Everybody's trying to throw all these fights on the Mexican Independence Day card, and they're like Ilia Topuria versus Max Holloway, and I'm like, what the fuck does a Georgian Hawaiian or a Hawaiian and a Georgian Spaniard have to do with Mexican Independence Day? You have like the Spaniard angle, but if you're going to book Max Holloway, Ilia Topuria, book it in a Spanish soccer stadium. Give Max that.
Ooh, yeah. No, that's dude.
And you know what? Ilia Topuria, Max Holloway, belt for belt.
Why aren't you working for the UFC? Why aren't you working for the UFC and their
I was a promoter for a reason, bro. The guy that mentored me being a promoter was the youngest licensed promoter in the history of the country.
That's good. No, that's
you know what I'm saying? These are the people I hang around. Just because I hang around losers certain times in my life doesn't mean it. But when I'm actually on it and doing shit, like the shit rubs off. I can't take all the credit for this.
Let me wrap my mind around this. Ilia Topuria versus Max Holloway headlining a card in Spain at a soccer stadium.
Belt for belt.
Woo! Yeah, that's big. That's a big fight. Holy fuck. Yeah, I'd request off from work for that one. And if I request off from work, that's some shit. Yeah, no, that man, I don't know why you're not working for the UFC. That's a good fight.
Aljamain Sterling, Calvin Kattar. I don't think everybody's giving Calvin Kattar a bunch of credit, or Aljamain Sterling a bunch of credit, because at the end of the day, this is mixed martial arts. He mixed it. Yes, grappling is a part of this. If you don't like fucking grappling, then maybe it's because you don't understand what's going on, and maybe you should go watch a couple hours of like Polaris Pro or Fight Pass Invitational or Eddie Bravo Invitational, or spend the $7-8 a month to get Fight Pass and have access to this stuff, or find it free on the internet and educate yourself. Because honestly, I don't see the big deal with Aljo. Is he the most exciting? No. But I think if they promoted Aljo the right way, you could have a lot of stock with Aljo.
No, here's the thing with Aljamain Sterling. And like I said, I'm just talking as a fan. I'm just a fan anymore these days. I'm not like refereeing in the UFC. I'm a fan these days, okay? You can be great at positional jiu-jitsu, positional grappling, positional mixed martial arts. Be fucking violent. If you have somebody's back, don't spend 3.5 minutes swimming for a rear naked choke. At some point, roll them over, try and flatten them out, and start beating the fuck out of them. Beat the fuck out of that guy. So he either gives you his neck or the referee stops the fight. You understand what I'm saying?
I can agree. I'm not saying you don't have a valid point. I'm just saying, like, there's the segment of people, and I don't know if it comes from like the old days of watching Pride when you saw how respectful and appreciative a crowd can actually be. Like, I've never had the experience of being out there doing that, but I've been in Philly and I got some drunk guy behind me yelling "twist his dick off" because he doesn't understand. Like, he's trying to twist his dick off. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, for an example, or a drunk guy's 2 rows behind you yelling "kick him in the head" when they're on the ground. Like, you can't. Again, if you're that passionate about it, at least educate yourself on it. Know what's going on. You don't have to go train. Honestly, I wish more people that watch the sport train jiu-jitsu. Just jiu-jitsu. You don't even have to train striking. Just go take a couple of jiu-jitsu classes so you kind of understand what the fuck is going on. Like, and that's the difference. And you sit there and you always say, "I'm just a fan now. I'm just a fan." You have an entirely different perspective on this sport than a lot of other people, because you've stood in the cage between Joe Rogan. You've been that third man. You've been there. And as cool as it is to stand between Joe Rogan and Bruce Buffer, you know what I'm saying, and call a Sean Strickland fight, or, ref guys like Pat Brady coming up or Joey Pfeiffer coming up and getting to see these diamonds in the rough before they're really fucking polished, and you can see something special with these guys. That's a whole different perspective, bro. You know what I'm saying? And we always talk about it off air about the and I always say, I preface it with anything I've done in this business is like a toe dip compared to a lot of these guys and a lot of the guys we're talking to and a lot of the guys I'm friends with. But it was just my love for the sport that kept me involved in it. And you have a different perspective. You don't understand what promoting a show is like. You don't understand why one guy gets a push and another guy doesn't get a push unless you've had to make these decisions on your own. So it just gives you some insight. I've sat in the war rooms at these regional promotions, some of these regional promotions, when some of these guys are talking about fights. It's a perspective. So you can sit here and say you're a fan all you want. No, that's what separates us from. And not that there's any level of fan that doesn't deserve it. If you're a fan of the sport, cool. Tune in, leave your comments in the fucking comment section. But at the end of the day, educate yourself. Like I said, that's the Pride crowds. If you ever go back and you don't know what the fuck it is and you watch a Pride event, they're clapping Like and I'm not saying we have to mimic that. I'm just saying they show appreciation for the sport because they understand what's going on. So
I will say this, man. I didn't even think of this, and Taporia versus Max Holloway in a soccer stadium in Spain. That sells.
You can't stop thinking about it right now. You can't.
That's
and they were already looking to put Taporia. They were already looking to put Taporia in a soccer stadium, and they're debating it. And they looked at putting Connor in a soccer stadium.
Bro, this shit sells itself. My God, you could sell 50, 60,000 seat stadium probably out, you know. And you would have to load the car up. But my God, man, you're onto something here. And that might be what they do. You know, maybe I'm just so oblivious that I don't see it. That's absolutely the fight to do.
He's got options though.
Dude,
shit's gonna get interesting the second half of the year, bro. You got Strickland. You got Strickland fighting Costa, who again, why the fuck is Strickland fighting Costa? Costa's ranked, I think, like 8. You have so much stuff. Like Poirier's getting ready to fight Makhachev. The guy that was honestly probably thought of to have Makhachev next was Justin Gaethje. Max is dethrowing that.
We're jumping too many spots. The reason Strickland fights Costa is because Strickland wipes the fucking mat with Costa, and I don't even think the UFC wants Paulo Costa. He's his little machismo, like he's balding in the back, you know, but he's still trying to be the hot guy. I don't know. When was the last time Paulo Costa won a fight? I don't even fucking know. He just
fought Robert Whittaker and lost.
No, he fought Robert Whittaker. He didn't win. He has 0 takedowns. He has 0 takedowns. He has 0 grappling. He has 0 submission ability. I don't really remember him knocking anybody out. What the fuck does the guy do there besides just stand and exist in the ring or in the cage for 3 rounds?
Steve stopped in and said, Rain. They just did. Here's the deal. TKO just did the 2-day WrestleMania in Philly in an open air stadium in April. I don't know if they have figured out a way to control the weather, but the fact that they didn't have any fucking issues in April in Philly with the weather we've been having.
I'll tell you this. Steve Gallagher's my boy. Good dude, man. Thanks for stopping in, Steve. Do you not understand how insanely psycho these soccer fans are over in Spain? You think rain is going to stop them from sitting there and cheering Ilia Topuria on? All you really have to do is cover the cage.
Hey, I just jamied biggest Spanish football stadium. I'm looking at different numbers. I'm just going to throw you 3 different numbers here. 50,000, 85,000, which is the Bernabeu. I've heard of that one. And then I'm not even going to mutilate it. It's in Barcelona. It's FC Barcelona's home stadium, 98,787. And we just spoke on WrestleMania, and from the promotion aspect of it, 2-day WrestleMania in Philly. Each day had over 70,000 people in that fucking stadium.
I will tell you this, and you'll laugh about this, okay? To me, soccer is the biggest sport in the world. I understand. I know. I've read all the statistics. Soccer bores me to death. 1-0, 1-1, 2-0, 2-1. It's the most boring fucking thing I've seen in my life. And it's a bunch of dudes acting like I've never seen before in my life, flopping on the ground, like crying. It's the most cuck sport I've ever seen in my entire life. Please, soccer players, don't come for me.
We're gonna have to do a
cuck sport I've ever seen in my life.
We're gonna have to do a banner on the bottom that says the views of Bill Bookwalter do not necessarily represent.
I'm on some shit. Soccer is the biggest cuck sport. Basketball is the next one. Basketball, we'll get on that another show. The soccer fans, though, are the most passionate I have ever seen in my entire fucking life. These people are willing to brawl, get in huge riots. These Spaniards and these people from these countries, they are passionate. If you push Ilia Topuria the right way, and he's out here right now saying, after what you saw with Max Holloway, Topuria is on social media saying he's nothing special. And you know Max Holloway is always down for a fight. Man, I think they sell out a 50 to a 70,000. I think that's probably one of the hottest tickets in Spain. Rain, what? Nobody's staying away from that show because of rain. We're Americans. We're soft. We're coddled. You know, here, I'm going to go on my Sean Strickland shit. We're soft. We're coddled. We're a weak society. Rain, like, if you're there to support your countrymen, Ilia Topuria in Spain, and it rains, you're still fucking going. Like, these fans are the most passionate I've ever seen in my entire life.
Look at Brett strikes again.
Anyway, if Dana White, one, they should hire you. Two, dude, Max Holloway, Ilia Topuria is probably one of the bigger fights that they could potentially have on their hands if they play their cards right. You know, dude, that's brilliant. Yeah. And the Topuria versus Holloway in a soccer stadium in Spain, one of the biggest live events ever. Like, yeah, I'm watching that for sure.
Yeah, Garrett. And like I said, we're not even going to get deep into the June's going to be an interesting month. Beginning of June, like I said, we got Makhachev Poirier, if you didn't see that.
I half the time, I think when Dana White and his team of his war room sit down and talk about this, I think he probably tells his people, if you're going to bring me an idea where we can do something no matter what happens. It doesn't matter who wins. Give me options. You know, and that would be the one.
And we've now strayed a half mile off the path of UFC 300. Yuri Prohaska, Alexander Rakic. Yuri was the comeback of the night.
Well, there's that Independence card coming up, and there's also, I believe, a card coming up in Brazil. Alex Pereira said he wants to fight on that.
301. That's next month. That's Pantoja Usyk. It's already got the poster out. They're not changing it. Pereira, we were going to get to it. Pereira broke a toe 2 weeks leading up to the fight, and then broke another toe during the fight. So
he's probably out.
No Pereira on. But again, he's talking about heavyweight. Now they're talking about, I don't know when the Manchester card's scheduled. I can look at it. Tom Aspinall just came out and said he's fighting on the Manchester card. Okay. No opponent yet, but he's fighting on the Manchester card. So, like, shit, we just came through, 11 out of 14 weeks with MMA, and the whole second half of the year is really starting to fucking stack up. They're going to have good Q3 and Q4s.
Yeah.
The UFC is, like,
the only bad thing is, man, I think Aspinall derails Pereira pretty easy. You know, I could be wrong, but dude,
what do you think Tommy Aspinall walks around at?
He's a big boy, 255, 250. Yeah, 250.
You think he's cutting to make the 60? You think he's cutting to make 65?
No, I don't think he's that big. No, I think
Alex Pereira weighed 232. If not more. He weighed in and posted a picture at 232. I don't know what he walked in the cage at, but if Alex Pereira's 232 for a light heavyweight fight and Tommy Aspinall doesn't really cut to the 65 line, you give Alex Pereira 6 months to put on muscle the way John Jones put on muscle with Glover and Cruz in his fucking corner, that could be interesting. The problem is
thumbs down.
Tommy, you're thumbing down in yourself with your iPhone. Every time you do this shit on the iPhone, it does it. That's why I said Bill was thumbs down for ESPN earlier. No, I mean, the wrestling could present a problem, but then again, you don't know. Everybody's like, Pereira can't wrestle. How do you know Pereira can't wrestle? When have you seen Pereira wrestle?
No, he can't wrestle.
I'm not saying he's going to pull out some masterful performance and it's going to be like the greatest grappling you've ever seen. The guy, I'm willing to bet the guy can wrestle a little bit.
I'll tell you what. I think Curtis Blades would beat Alex Pereira fairly easily. I'm not saying it would be exciting. I'm saying he would beat him. Okay. Unless Curtis Blades got the idea in his head, which was still the lowest IQ moment in all of mixed martial arts history, to stand with Sergey Pavlovich until you fucking got tuned up and then try some half-ass shot and you got your ass knocked out. As long as Curtis Blades didn't try that shit and tried to grapple Pereira right away, I think the heavyweight waters is deep. Because, dude, what grappler have they put Pereira against? They really haven't, man. You know?
They haven't. And I'm not saying that he goes against a grappler and doesn't get destroyed. I'm 100% got my ticket for the Alex Pereira hype train. I am on it. But I'm a realist. I'm just saying, I think there's got to be at least some level of grappling. If Alex Pereira wants to fight at heavyweight, there's plenty of other heavyweights that Alex Pereira can fight, but I just don't see Alex Pereira moving up to heavyweight to go fight and it being like a one-off thing when the guy's weighing 230, looking good. The power carries as he goes up. Now, is it going to carry to heavyweight? I don't fucking know. It's hard to tell, but everybody said Max's power wasn't going to carry at 155. It's ever evolving, and these guys are figuring out new ways to do stuff. So it's hard to tell, but either way, I'm anxious to see the next couple moves they do with like Pereira. I'm anxious to see what lays out after the Poirier Makhachev fight. There's so many. You don't want to be a UFC matchmaker right now. Again, they've probably got 3 backup plans for everything, but
they do.
You don't want to see. And again, I don't talk to Mick Maynard like I used to. Like when Mick was running LFA, he was a little bit of a mentor. I was always in the messages with him. Mick is not on social like that anymore, so I can't pick Mick's brain. But trust and believe that for everything that everybody knows about Sean Shelby, Mick Maynard is a huge part of this equation, and he earned the spot that he has. And to be a fly on the wall of the war room when him, Dana, and Sean are going through, and this new matchmaker that they hired are going through and doing these matchups. And that's another thing. Can we not forget that they hired a new matchmaker? And I don't know what details that this guy is really doing stuff. I haven't really seen him or heard a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Can we just say that, excuse me, I remember he did the one match and they hired him.
Yeah. Oh, the black guy, little chubby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They got his wife a job. They got his wife
amazing.
a job at a Vegas. Yeah, they got his wife a job at a Vegas casino, and I forget about him. But man, can you imagine? I just want to be a fly on the wall of the war room. But we digress again.
I'll tell you what, Dana White and them, man, they this UFC 300 card, dude, it was good. Maybe it was because I was buzzing or I was feeling good or I was with my family, but it's something that I will remember as a fun memory with my family for, the fight card delivered. It was good. Not every fight was the fight of the year candidate, but the people who showed up, they showed up, and it was big. The Pereira fight was good. The Holloway fight was great. Yeah, man, they knocked it out of the park with that one. So hopefully they can build off it and we can go, I'm looking forward to the Mexican Independence Day card. Have they announced the main event for that yet?
No, they're not. Nothing's even shaped up for that yet. They haven't even started putting that up yet. I'll check the schedule. Let's burn through the rest of the main card quick. Nickel, Cody Brundage. A lot to be. Here's the deal. I have said it since the beginning. Bo Nickel, the path that he's taking is smart. I like it. People bitch about it. He's fighting cans. Fuck you. He's going out there getting paid. He was real hard on himself. Dana White said to him, hey, look, you keep doing what you're fucking doing. You're not going to have any problems. Cody Brundage.
He gets Bo Nickel gets the number 15 guy next. That's my prediction. Whoever number 15 is, that's what Dana White gives him. And if he wins that impressively, he gets number 10. Yeah,
I think. Cody Brundage, again, guy's been around. He's got 3 times as many fights as Bo. Probably been striking 3 times as many as long as Bo. However, Bo's probably got 3 times the wrestling accolades, so it kind of, I guess, washed out. Made some mistakes, corrected it. Bo, what I want to see Bo do, this is what I want to see Bo do. I want to see Bo leading a dance. Like, Bo is very much, if you watch the Brundage fight again, he's very, very reactionary, and I want to see him, like, be able to, and he's not there yet, and it's fine. I'm not, shout out to Bo, 500level.com. You can see it on the bottom of the screen. I got my Bo Nickel on. Bill's got his vintage, what's it say on there, Bill? Can you read it for everybody? Because that's in the way.
Shut up, man. You kill me. I told you, don't make fun of me. I'm it's glandular. It's Forrest Griffin, and no, I can't read upside down.
I think it's kicking ass and petting cats. It's a picture of Forrest Griffin with a cat, that old meme. But yeah, 500 Level also presents Fight Show. We got their gear on. They got officially licensed merchandise from not only UFC, but all those other icky, stupid sports that everybody likes to talk about. Baseball, football, all officially licensed. You go to 500level.com. You go to 500level.com and use the code FightShow for 20% off. We are proud to partner with them. They got some good merchandise. What do you think about the quality, Bill? Like, you get some of these shirts from some of these places, and they're
hold on. It makes my arms look like big as fuck. Yeah,
500level.com. It'll make your arms look bigger. No, quality's good. Might have been through the wash a bunch of times. This Bo Nickel I've worn a bunch of times. It's not, none of the stuff's appealing. Good quality stuff. Prices aren't hateful. Again, 500level.com. code FightShow for 20% off your order. Charles Oliveira, Arman, Sakarian. I always fuck his name up. Did I say it right? Sakarian? Yeah, Sakarian. I always just call him
Sarukian.
Yeah, see? I did it again. I know it.
Come.
And I'll sit there and do like show notes and I'll say it and I'll still fuck it up. Sarukian.
I butcher names too.
Charles Oliveira. I for a second was watching it live with you, like on the live show. I thought he won that. I thought, Arman did a good job. He recognized what was coming. He dropped the arm. He dropped the body on top of the arm, I think is what we saw. And he fought the choke. Charles thought he was out. That's why he was sticking the tongue out. Arman came back and took the split decision.
Garrett and I not bickered, but we went back and forth online a little bit. I will ask you, Garrett, is that the proper way to finish any kind of Bravo choke? Yes or no?
No, it's not.
Okay. Does any blue belt in anywhere involved in jiu-jitsu know what you're supposed to do there?
Yeah.
Charles Oliveira, what the fuck are you doing, bro? Like, do the technique correctly. Yeah, Buzz. Yeah, you're buffed. You're supposed to curl that guy into the letter C, step over his leg, and you're supposed to use your body to finish the choke. For anybody, go to your local YouTube, look up Bravo or Darce choke in the correct
the local YouTube.
Local YouTube. I was the Mannheim Strangler, okay? The Darce choke was my favorite choke, okay? I used to choke people. That's what I do. All right, or that's what I like to do. I might not be able to choke the best fighter in the world, but if I have that position locked up, I'm going to attempt the technique correctly. Charles, you're one of the elite fighters in the world, Charles, you are one of the elite fighters in the world. Like, come on, man. Do it like a black belt. Do it the way you're supposed to do it. Like, what are you doing? You're not supposed to put your hips out at a 90-degree angle. You're supposed to curl in, step over the leg, and use your body, which is your strong point, to finish that choke. You're not supposed to squeeze with your arms. That's some white belt shit, bro. And you know that. Like, you're Charles Oliveira. You're fucking elite. What are you doing?
Definitely interesting. Definitely mixes some things up.
Cost in the fight. And I love Charles Oliveira, by the way. I do. But Arman Sarukian gets the win, and who the hell knows what's next for that guy,
We'll look at the rankings. We'll look at the rankings before we pop off, but
we've obviously
already spoke on it.
You've proved your value as a matchmaker here. What do you do with Arman Sarukian? Who's he fighting?
I gotta look at. I didn't even see how anything turned out Tuesday. I just seen Arman. They moved Arman up. I posted it. Didn't even pay no attention to it, honestly. We've already spoken at length about it, so I'm gonna buzz through it. Max Holloway, Justin Gaethje, the greatest knockout of all time.
It is best knockout of all time. Better than any Chuck Liddell knockout. Better than anything else. That was the best knockout of all time.
You broke his nose. You showed him rounds 1, 2, and 3 that you were the more technical fighter at the time. I'm not saying Justin Gaethje is not a technical fighter. The guy was getting ready to face Makhachev at 155. You outclassed him for 3 straight rounds. You could say that he took 4, 5. You guys mixed it up at them last 10 seconds. He says, "Okay, now I showed you that I'm the more technical striker today. Now I'm going to show you I'm the real BMF," and fucking put it in there and put it all on the line with the absolute highlight knockout that I don't give a fuck what anybody says. If a year ago I'd have said Max Holloway fights Justin Gaethje sometime in the future and does this with 10 seconds left and knocks Max out, or if you saw it in a movie, more importantly, if you saw it in a movie, you would say, that'll never fucking happen. We all saw it.
Dude, the thing, myself and Joe Rogan included, everybody that watched, dude, you were up 4 rounds, man. There even maybe 3 rounds, but either way, you were winning. There was literally you put the ball in that guy's court, and for at least 10 seconds, you made it 50-50 for no reason, for no fucking reason. And you go and do that. That's, man. You've seen my profile picture on Facebook, right? It's the one with Randy Marsh from South Park, and he's got his testicles are like giant, so big that he needs a wheelbarrow to carry him. Fucking Max Holloway, what a man, dude. I wouldn't do that, dude. If I was winning a fight, like that on that stage with 10 seconds left, I'm circling out, and I'm taking zero risk because I already won the fight. I did what I was supposed to do. I don't need to prove myself. I'm the baddest motherfucker. For Max Holloway to stand in the cage and point to the center and say, you know what? Fuck 4 months worth of work. Fuck my whole career's worth of work. In this last 10 seconds, I'm making it a 50-50 fight, you and me, right here. And to do that, are you fucking shitting me, bro? Definitely worth $600,000. What a man.
And
What a
again,
fucking
like
man.
we alluded to, Justin Gaethje got his nose broke. He's in good spirits. Everybody, you know, those two, there was nothing but love there the whole time.
Yeah.
$300,000.
Justin Gaethje is a multimillionaire and has a dime as a girlfriend. He's okay. He's doing all right. Like,
the only guy to get knocked out that horrifically and end up on the other end of a highlight reel and get not only $300,000 but pay-per-view points because he was defending the BMF belt. Justin Gaethje's going to be all right, folks. Zhang Wei Li, you know, Yan Shannon. First time I think I've ever seen. Well, I think it might have happened like once or twice, like sporadically. You see these little things, but she lost by choke and decision in my book because she was out. I don't give a fuck what anybody says. She was out.
Oh, yeah. That I will get that in a minute.
Recovered. Look, all credit to her. She recovered. She looked like a baby deer on the ice when she came out. All credit to her. She did that. Gave Zhang a little bit of a different look for Zhang. I mean, like I said, gave a different look as far as like some competitiveness. Zhang had to earn that one, but she definitely earned a unanimous decision on that one. There's no bones about it. She pieced her up all over the place. Chama. Let me work real quick, Herb. Chama, real quick.
Good.
Alex Pereira, dog, with that wouldn't have been the same had it not been for that. You know what I'm saying? Had he not done that, we get it for the camera. Had he not just
Can you believe there are people online bitching that Herb Dean handled that incorrectly? No, he didn't.
Yeah.
No, he didn't. It's a guy I really, really respect. Dude, Daniel Cormier is one of the greatest heavyweights of all time. He is a total badass. He actually had the balls to go on social media and say that because Herb Dean didn't call a full timeout, it kind of broke Jamal Hill's stride and blah, 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 blah. Bro, for 30 years, if you get kicked in the nuts and the referee kind of tries to pipe in, he's giving you a chance to recover, I would have done the same fucking thing. If the fighter waves me off and says, I'm okay, let's keep fighting, there's no reason for me to get involved in the fucking fight.
The fighter controls an injury timeout.
Yes, I was involved with this shit at the highest level, okay? Multiple times. And I never got caught up in controversy. Nobody knows who the fuck I was because I didn't fuck shit up. If somebody gets kicked in the nuts and you run in, I'm saying as a referee, I'll give you a chance to recover if you need. If you wave me the fuck off like you're still okay, and I'm like, all right, keep fighting. And then there's another 2 or 3 seconds lapse and the other fighter gets knocked the fuck out, I didn't do anything. No, stop it. Stop the fucking nonsense. You're looking for something to bitch about. Knock it the fuck off. The fight didn't break. You weren't caught off guard. You know, Jamal Hill just got knocked the fuck out by a guy who's a really, really fucking good fighter. That's it.
He got pieced up.
So for Daniel Cormier to get online and say some shit, like, dude, I got a lot of respect for Daniel Cormier, man. He's probably one of my favorite fighters of all time. He's up there in my top 5. Knock that bullshit off, man. Alex Pereira won that shit fair and square. The ref didn't do anything. Quit trying to make drama out of some shit that's not drama. Jesus fucking Christ. Sorry.
Oh.
Sorry. Yeah, my bad.
I will pull this up. Pull this up. Why is it not coming up now? Oh, I'm not shared to the screen. That's why. Give me a minute.
I feel like I've done a lot of ranting on this show.
I don't even think we need a ref rant tonight. We're running late anyways. 55 looks like this. Oh, hold on. We got to stay on for another couple minutes now. Here's this guy. Live from work.
I had an extra few minutes. How's it going?
Tanner Kinnett, we're just looking at the rankings, bro. I've blown Bill's mind because I have said that they need to do Elia Topuria versus Max Holloway at a Spanish football stadium, and Bill is now stricken with all kinds of anxiety. He can't even wrap his head around this concept. It's just blown his mind.
I've been watching, and let me tell you, I think a freaking Max Holloway versus Ilya at a soccer stadium in Spain. Not only are you counting out like how big of a sport soccer and soccer fans are, that shit is
what I said, bro.
In
That's
Europe.
what I said.
It is huge in other countries.
I was like, these soccer people are insane. One of our people tuning in said, "Yeah, but what about rain?" These soccer people are the craziest motherfuckers I've seen in my life.
You ain't seen them in Germany with ponchos on and shit, with the little kids out there drinking beer with their dad. Like, I mean,
bro, they're not staying away because of
Hey,
rain.
Bill. Hey, Bill, the boy Ty stopped in. He said, "No one knows who I am because I didn't fuck shit up" is one of the greatest one-liners of all time.
Thank you. Yeah. If I was a piece of shit or fucked some UFC fights up, you would know exactly who the fuck I was. You'd be like, "Oh yeah, that piece of shit. He should never ref again."
Tanner, how much time you got?
Garrett, we've
just
already
about
determined.
10 minutes. Apparently, I'm the only one here tonight.
Tanner, we have already determined that Garrett should be hired by the UFC matchmaking team immediately. Because that's a great idea. Garrett, are both titles on the line?
Oh, I said that when we first said this. I said it's belt for belt.
Belt for
Ilya
belt.
said that.
That's sexy.
Ilya said that he won't fight Max unless the BMF is on the line.
That's sexy.
He said that on the MMA Hour.
That's a big fight. That's sexy.
He said that he said that Max is next, but he won't fight Max unless the BMF is on the line, and that if it's not on the line, they're not going belt for belt. That he's going to give it to Volk because Volk's obviously deserving as well. He said he's the champion. He picks and chooses now.
Yeah. Well, until they tell you what to do, we can't sit here. We can't look at Tommy Aspinall, look at fucking the John Jones saga. They're icing everybody the fuck out.
You also in that aspect, you got to recognize like who you actually are. Like Ilya just got the title, and yes, he did knock out Volk, but he's still not like there yet. You know what I'm saying? When you talk about the Tom Aspinall thing, you can talk about John Jones because John Jones is like a company man. Like like he gets to do what he wants. Conor McGregor gets to do what he wants. I don't know if Ilya's right there yet.
The minute that ended, people were saying Sean O'Malley, Ilya Topuria, and I'm like, no. I'm not mad at a Volk Islam situation because Volk cleaned out a division. I'm not mad when John Jones goes up to heavyweight because John Jones cleaned out a division. So, real quick, because Tanner's only got 10 minutes, and we're going to wrap this up. Diego Lopez is now ranked number 14, so he already cracked the top 14, Bill, or top 15, I should say. Aljamain Sterling bumps up to 8. You know what I'm saying? You got Max Holloway right here at 2. Some could say Volk needs the time off. They don't want to ice him. So you asked me what I'm thinking. Clearly, I've already stated if you're going to do a 145-pound championship right now, unless you want to play the game and say, okay, maybe gives Max just fought. Ortega just fought recently. You got Yair Rodriguez in the top 5. You got Evelev. There's so many
Diego
options.
said he wants the Evlov rematch.
Yeah. I get it.
He said, let me quote him real quick. He said that he is one half of the only fight that Mavlar has been interested in.
I'll tell you what.
Been interested in.
I don't gamble anymore. I have $100 on Lopez in that fight. Evelev is not that impressive. Evelev is, I think, maybe the first time Lopez might have been a little bit like nerved because he took that fight. That was his first fight in the UFC. And he took that shit on like a couple days' notice.
A lot of people thought that he did enough to win.
Yeah. And we were talking about that earlier in the show. He was like a minus or like a plus 1,000 favorite. He wasn't supposed to win. Evelev has not impressed me. Out of all the Russians and shit, I would bet you a Subway sub or wherever you like to eat. I bet you in the next fight for Lopez is the Evelev rematch. I would
really hope so.
I mean, the story's there. Jumping in
Evelev
14
has
to
to
5,
be one
I
of
can see it.
Has to be one of the few that's undefeated and not very entertaining.
Overhyped, for sure. Overhyped. Yeah. He's not that good. I bet you Diego Lopez, especially with this motivation, I bet you Lopez wipes the floor with that dude.
It's hard not to expect it after what he did to Sadiq.
I'll tell you what, Tanner, I've lost fights before against guys I thought I should have beaten. It tastes like ass. I mean, it tastes like straight ass. You will never be as motivated as if you got to train for that fight again. Like, and go in not scared or not nerved at all. So
well, with the Trout, see, and here's the deal: Max Holloway options. So you got 55 here. Chandler's clearly booked up with the Connor fight. Benny just came off that loss to Armin. Gamrot just came off a loss, Bill, right? I think.
No, I think he won against Dos Anjos. Yeah,
Gamrot beat Dos Anjos.
That's
he's
right.
off
Gamrot
like a
beat Dos
3-fight win
Anjos.
right now or something.
Yeah, Oliveira just came off a loss. Gaethje just came off that loss. Going to be out a little while. Poirier's booked. Armin's just bumped up to number 1.
It's all about timelines, and
that's what I'm saying. With Max Holloway, you got options at 45. I think.
Do you see what I talked about it being proposed that Boicano fights Dariush next?
Yeah.
Moicano very likely wins that fight.
Dariush
is a boring ass.
Yeah.
Nobody that fights in the UFC.
Keep coming back down. You're going to see Dariush probably. I mean, you got to say if he loses against Moicano, he drops back down closer to the bottom end of the top 15.
What a fall from grace to never get a title shot, man.
Listen, Tanner, from the bottom of my heart, I respect everybody that's in the UFC. Dariush can get the fuck out of here. Like the way he fights, get the fuck out of here, bro. We're here to be entertained. We're not here to be like, Dariush can get the
You
fuck
don't
out.
think Dariush doesn't have some entertaining fights? I mean, I know he's on some like lost skids, but I mean, he had some entertaining knockouts at least. Like, I mean,
yeah, like three years ago. Yeah. Like 2.5, 3 years ago. No, dude, I would never tune in for a Dariush fight. You can't headlining hard with that guy. And that's just what it is,
For a while there, a lot of people were tuning in, though, because they expected him to win. I mean,
so was Tony Ferguson.
Yeah.
And now, my God, you couldn't even put Tony Ferguson on an Apex fight at this point,
What a fall from grace.
I'm going to...
Dude, Father Time gets us all. Father Time gets everybody,
I'm going to say you got to really wait.
The match that never was.
55, you're going to have to wait till June, I think, to you're going to have to wait till this, because here's the deal with this everybody counting everybody out shit. The way Dustin Poirier's been looking, I'm not completely counting Dustin DP out of the Armin or the Makhachev fight, and would be even sweeter if he finishes with Gilly. So if you're clipping this, Tanner, we can go ahead and clip that. And I'm just saying, with everything that just happened, with the greatest knockout ever, 2024 gaining steam for the UFC, now we're primed for a DP finishing off Islam with a Gilly. That's all I'm saying. I'm just going to put it out there in the sphere. I'm going to let y'all mutter it.
Well, I'll tell you what. Dustin Poirier winning by submission is easily plus 1,100. So if you got $100 if you got $100 to back that up, you'll win over 1,000.
I mean,
that might be I'll take you.
We got nothing coming up Saturday, so we are off. I think possibly next week I might get with the young Tanner. We might do a midday show. Bill, you were on for next Thursday, so we'll do a next Thursday show. If not, Christy will tell me in the comments in 3 minutes.
Oh, and by the way, let me do a quick drop in here. Brought to you by Buffed Energy. Tanner, that is a sweet mustache, bro.
Dude, I was doing it wrong my whole life. I was upset because I couldn't grow a beard, and then like I shaved everything but my mustache for state games last year, and I was like, I should just do this. Like, this is the personality now.
I wanted Diego Lopez to lose just because I'm jealous of his mullet. Like, I wish I could do that. Like,
jealous of that chest tattoo.
Oh my God, I'm jealous of everything, man. The guy's just got swag, dude.
I think we need to get something together, and we're gonna try and include Brent in this. I'm not sure if he's still with us, but we're gonna do like a little GoFundMe. I'm gonna get just like a blonde mullet, and I want it shaved up like Diego Lopez, and we're getting it for Bill, and I think it's gonna be part of Bill's uniform for the show.
Yeah, we definitely got to do that.
I would, dude. If you could get me a wig mullet like Diego Lopez, I would absolutely wear that on the show.
Like the patty hair, like the patty mullet.
Oh my God! Are you kidding me?
The buzz sides, you have to grow it out a little bit and not shave it, and I think we can do it. I think we'll.
Dude, if I tried to grow a mullet at this point, I would just look like Hulk Hogan. It would be horrible. like
Bro,
the mustache would really make sense for you.
I saw a pic. You saw the pic of young Bill Bookwalter in the group chat earlier, the show group chat earlier, and might I say, if there's a Paul Felder biopic, I'm submitting Bill's headshot to be young Paul Felder.
Young Paul Felder. Jesus Christ.
Had the ginger power fucking volunteer firefighter power mustache going on.
Oh, yeah.
Had the,
The
50s
Fu
greaser.
Manchu.
What did
Yeah.
you say,
50s greaser
brother?
Rico Suave. What yeah, brother?
What did you say, brother?
All right, man. Bill, do you feel like you've referended enough to get you out of your system for the week? Do we need to do a ref rant, or you have one saved, or?
Dude, I feel like this whole show. Oh, no. What were you talking about earlier? I said there was something that absolutely ticked me off, but I probably talked about it on the show.
I mean,
No.
I can really brief synopsis of the ref rant. Fuck ESPN and soccer fans are cucks, I think is what Bill said. Again, these are the views of Bill Bookwalter. They do not necessarily represent the views of Tanner Canada, myself, or of the Fight Show Nation. They are strictly the views of Bill Bookwalter.
But we love listening to you.
I will digress and bite my tongue. Fuck the NBA cucks too. Fuck
Brett
the
Colfax
NBA
just
cucks too.
commented the
Bunch
choke
of
of round one of the female fight. Yes, we alluded to that earlier, that she not only lost by decision, but she was choked out as well. So,
Brent's always on it. Yeah, I'll do a quick little ref rant. It's not angry at anybody, but
oh yeah, we'll do that. The ref rant. I was just talking. Okay, it makes sense now. It makes sense. Add the stage. We'll do it with the ref rant for Bill Bookwalter.
okay. We all watched years ago. We all watched Merab Dvalishvili fight Ricky Simon. Okay, Merab fought this guillotine choke where he ended up getting mounted. And my boy Liam Kerrigan, great referee from New Jersey, he was in there. And Merab looks like he's riding the stationary bike from his back. And Liam is sitting there and he's like, "Are you okay? You're okay." And Merab is responding every fucking time. Okay. And Merab was winning the fight on the scorecards. That's a fact. It's not an opinion. He was winning a fight on the scorecards. Okay. As the bell ended, Merab made the end of the fight. The referee did not stop the fight during the allotted time. I don't care what you do after the 5th minute of the 3rd round. I don't care how long it takes you to get up. If the referee didn't stop the fight, you weren't fucking finished. Okay. The referee, my boy Liam, saw that Merab was out for literally a half a second. The final decision was that Ricky Simon won the fight. Because after the fight was over, it was determined that he was out. The fight was fucking over. It was done. The correct thing to do would have been to go to the scorecards and Merab wins the fight. You did not stop the fight within the allotted time. Okay, fine. As an MMA community, we have all decided that was acceptable. That was the standard. That was the correct decision. Okay. Now, in this fight, here we are, fucking 6 years later, whatever the fuck it is, and the same exact situation happens. The chick was out. But now, in this fight, we're giving her the 60 seconds to recover, and she doesn't win, but she fights a competitive fight. What the fuck is going on? Come up with a fucking set of rules. Address the fucking situation. If the ref does not stop the fucking fight within the confines of the round, the fight continues. Or it ends. And the Merab Dvalishvili, why are we still... It's like one referee saying, hey, the free throw went in the bucket, it counts. And the other one going, nah, you know what? In this scenario, it doesn't count. Knock it the fuck off. Get on the same fucking page. My God, the sport's been around 30 fucking years. I'm tired of the fucking bullshit. If you survive the round, you have 60 fucking seconds. We could even go back as far as, and I know I'm ranting long here, we could go back as far as Sean Shirk and BJ Penn. BJ Penn throws this flying knee. It connects with Sean Shirk within the allotted time frame, and Sean Shirk looks hurt, but the round ends. BJ Penn looks at the referee and tells the referee the fight's over. And the referee goes, yeah, you know what? The fight is over. Knock it the fuck off. Get your shit together. I'm tired of the bullshit, tired of the dumb shit. What the fuck are we really fucking doing here? If you survive the round, you have 60 fucking seconds to recover. Or, in the Merab Dvalishvili case, if it's the end of the fucking fight, that's it. We go to the scorecards. Why are we still having all this different dumb shit? Okay? The case law was presented that if you're out at the end of the round, it's the end of the fight, and that's what was considered acceptable. Shout out to anybody who had money on submission on Zhang Wei Li to submit this chick in the first round, because you won your fucking bet. But because we're a bunch of fucking weirdos and we can't get our shit on the same page, you didn't win. Our bad. That's my ref rank. Get your fucking shit together. Sorry, Gary. Go on. We're back.
By all means, Bill. It's okay. Carry on. No, I think.
Am I right or am I fucking wrong?
I get it. They should have unified. It's one of these gray areas that we have.
We're 30 years into this fucking shit. Get your shit together. If you survive the round, you're still alive. Period.
He's still ran. Still going, guys. He's still going. Take a shot of that buff energy.
You can see the steam coming off the head a little bit.
Am I wrong? Am I fucking wrong?
You're not wrong.
30 years into this shit, and we still don't know what the fuck is going on. We got guys arguing at the ABC about fucking kidney kicks. Are you fucking shitting me?
You can't be getting this hyped up. You can't be getting this hyped up. If we get that Diego mullet, you'll sweat it right off your head.
Buffed energy.
Fuck him.
Maybe we shouldn't be telling people to drink buffed energy, because he's been drinking it for an hour. We feel vastly different. I'm feeling focused and articulated. He's over here ready to punch his fucking phone screen.
Killer energy that won't kill you, probably.
But Bill might.
Clip that. With that being said, you look back at a similar, and it's not a submission, but you look at the Anderson Silva, Michael Bisping. Bisping went on to win the title, but there's a lot of factors in with that. So, with that being said, I guess, are we going to get out of here, guys? Or Tanner, do you have anything to add? You kind of, you're kind of filling in here when you can.
Yeah, I'm really excited to get started on the show. Like, hopefully here in the next week or two, you'll either see me on Thursdays or I'll be around for a midday show. But I don't know. It just feels like I heard so much about us paying for 300 with all the A-list stars being on the card. And it kind of feels like we are the next couple events, which is to be said. The Pantoja-Usyk fight doesn't really feel like a pay-per-view at all, really. But, I mean, after that, we have the DP Makhachev. We have the Conor return. The John Jones fight is still up in the air. Tom Aspinall says he's just waiting for a yes in Manchester, and we know how amazing the London cards can be or the Britain cards can be. So, I don't know. Take a weekend off. I feel like we're all adrenaline dumped anyways from those amazing KOs, and I feel like we got a lot to look forward to.
Tanner, do me one favor. Plug your group, buddy. I love your 80,000 strong army.
Oh, UFC Junkies on Facebook. UFC Junkies on Facebook. Tanner built himself a huge group if you are not a member. And actually, we're going to do a little thing. I've been working on some stuff here. We got a little segment. We're not sure where we're going to do it yet, but Tanner and I have been compiling a list of all these asinine, uneducated comments. And we're always out to educate people. And if we see in the comments that we talk to you, you have these people that are receptive, but you just have some of the people that are just straight jackasses and refuse to learn. So with that being said, sometime in the near future, you're going to see this. Which is the new thing I'm putting together. Me and Tanner working together, the UFC Junkies Jackass of the Week.
Can I be the first one? Can I be the honorary first Jackass of the Week? I would love that.
Well, we had a guy the other day say that Cody Stamann lost and it was unfair because his opponent's arms were longer. So that's kind of in the top running for Idiot of the fucking Week.
I don't think I can beat that.
All about the top comment of the week. Are you on crack?
I don't think I can beat that.
Nobody, although he did say earlier, nobody knows who I was because I didn't fuck anything up. So looking forward, we got next week off. The 27th, there's actually a fight night before Pantoja and Usyk.
Oh, is it Perez and something?
Nicolau Perez. We could start looking over that next week, Bill. Pantoja Usyk on Saturday, May 4th. From Rio.
With that one.
Another Derek Lewis fight night from St. Louis on May 11th.
Can't believe they put him in another 5 rounds.
Edson Barbosa versus Murphy. 302 is Saturday. We only have 3 cards in May, guys. We got 1 left in April. 3 in May. May 18th is Barbosa versus Murphy at the Apex. Makhachev Poirier at the Prudential Center on Saturday, June 1st. It says TBD for Louisville, Kentucky, but I see a picture of Brad Catoni here versus some guy with a fancy curled mustache.
Pretty sure they just announced that one. They were going to Kentucky.
Saturday, June 22nd. I don't know. Has anybody even? I don't know when they did this, or if I just found a fluke. Whitaker. Oh no, that's right. They did announce that Whitaker versus Chimaev.
Strickland versus Costa.
Good one.
And then,
that's a good one.
And then, of course, Strickland versus Costa's on the Makachev Poirier card June 1st from Newark. And, of course, McGregor Chandler. Let me see here. I'm just looking at the Saudi card. They did announce that. I thought Kelvin Gastelum, Daniel Rodriguez, Shara Bullet versus Potiera, Johnny Walker versus Volkan Ozdemir.
Wait, Shara versus Potiera? Because I heard that Michelle Pereira versus Potiera got announced.
I'm seeing Shara.
It is Potiera versus Michelle Pereira.
Oh, I think Shara fell out of it. I think Pereira's stepping in.
Okay, yeah, that's right. You know what? I did see that. They must have not updated. I'm going by UFC.com, so they didn't update it yet. But other than that, you might see me and Tanner early next week on the midday show. Of course, you'll see it and we'll share it. You'll see at least me and Bill. I think Tanner could probably squeeze in for a little bit next week as well. I think we'll start seeing Tanner every week. We'll just take up all of his breaks while he's at work until he gets this new job. So
that is perfectly fine with me.
If you guys didn't see the watch party last week, Tanner's joining the Fight Show team here, part of the Fight Show Nation. Go join UFC Junkies if you're a UFC fan.
Tanner, with your permission, any one of your 80,000 plus members can get the opportunity to argue with the UFC ref. I promise I will not call anybody cucks and or threaten their family or children. I am a respectable dude. But yeah, if you ever wanted to argue with a UFC referee, go to UFC Junkies. I will gladly engage anybody all the time. I got time.
This is amazing. I'm gonna keep this one in my back pocket for the assholes that argue about shit that's obvious. Perfect.
You have the only group where fans can argue with a UFC referee, and I will talk shit back.
We are
beautiful.
We're gonna look at some things because Billy, for what it's worth, if you can, I don't know what your work schedule is like next week, but unless it's ESPN, he said he won't call anybody a cuck unless it's ESPN.
Oh yeah, no, they're a bunch of cucks on ESPN. They're a bunch of bitches.
Are they all soccer fans? No. Let's see if we can put something together in the group chat, guys, about maybe next week. Bill, what's your daytime schedule like? Are you on days next week?
I'm off next week, bro. I'm off.
Shoot.
Billy's off. Tanner, let's start.
2 Thursdays, I'm off.
All right, let's get it down then. Midday show next week.
Let's start putting something together. UFC Junkies next week live. We will do a live video debate in UFC Junkies where if you want to come on UFC Junkies live and you want to be joined the live broadcast right in the UFC Junkies group, Bill Bookwalter will be in there calling everyone and their fucking mom a cuck and telling you why your opinion is invalid, uneducated, and he thinks you should go jump off a fucking bridge. With that being said, we will get that together. Thank everybody for fucking tuning in. Oh, wait, hold on. Shit, we can't go. Look, we're just getting ready to fucking leave, and this guy's here. Pat Brady, if you have, here's the deal, Pat. If you have 5 minutes, I'll send you the link right now, bro. You can come on here and tell them how the fuck it is.
Oh, let's do it next week. Let's do Pat Brady versus Bill Bookwalter next week.
Beautiful.
Let me rewatch the fight. I'll gather my thoughts, and Pat Brady and I can have an internet sparring session.
Look.
Oh, Jesus, Pat. I love Pat, man. He's such a good dude. I didn't even want to. Oh, Jesus. I could tell he still feels a certain sort of way about it.
No, he said on the show, he's just giving you shit. We had him live on the show, and Pat Brady.
No, he's just being nice. He hates me for that shit.
Look, he's in the comments. He's putting the engagement numbers up. We love Pat Brady.
Still the best amateur Pennsylvania fight I've ever seen was Ian Alston versus Patrick Brady. Art of War, I believe it was. It's on YouTube. Go check it out. It was a really good fight, man.
Bro, he says he's coming for you, Bill, and he said no gloves.
Dude, Pat, I don't want that smoke, bro. I don't want that smoke, man. I have a family.
For those of you that don't know,
his wife likes his face pretty.
Yeah, right? Pat Brady's a beast, bro.
Pat Brady just booked BKFC at the Mohegan in Connecticut on a future BKFC show. Pat's been on the show before. We hope to have Pat on again very, very soon. I'd put him on right the fuck now if he was down for it. But Isn't it funny how somebody jumps in the comments and goes like, "Oh, we can do it next week." Look, Bill, look, he's got you shook, Bill.
Let me rewatch the fight. Let me rewatch the fight on YouTube. Let me gather my thoughts and let me reevaluate my performance, and I will be open and honest.
By the way, Pat's commenting in the comment section, bro. He might watch that fight every night before he goes to bed just to fuel him with anger and rage before he goes to sleep.
Well,
He might already have it queued up in the DVD player.
I will tell you what, Pat, I'm rooting for you to knock this guy out at BKFC, man. You're one of my favorites. Such a good dude, man. Working man, family. I'm going to root for you at BKFC, man, for real.
Yeah. Bill immediately messaged me.
Hell yeah, brother.
Bill immediately messaged me and said, road trip. And I'm like, oh, we might have to go to Connecticut for a fucking brick fight up there at BKFC. Pat, what are you doing next week? Pat, Thursday, 7 o'clock next week. What's up?
I gotta run, Garrett.
All right, bro. I'll see you. We'll talk. We'll get on this.
Yep, we're gonna, especially since you're off next week, for sure.
See you guys.
All right, bro. See you.
Let's see if we can't. Let's see if we can't hook Pat up for next week. All right. Let me rewatch the fight.
Thursday at 7. Bill's going to rewatch the fight. He's going to give you every bullshit excuse on why he took that point, Pat. It was wrong, and he probably shouldn't have fucking done it. You know. I'm not turning on you, Bill. I still love you. I'm just giving you shit.
This is a fun show, man.
With that being said, we have fun every week. Best hang in combat sports. You never know who's going to stop in, who pops on, who does whatever. Like I said, if you want to argue with a UFC ref live on the internet next week, look out. Join UFC Junkies on Facebook, and go ahead and
I did the
look
best
for the announcement. Me and Tanner are going to drop, and you'll get the chance to do that. Pat Brady, 7 o'clock next Thursday. I think Bill just called you out. I think I heard him say it. He said, get on the fucking show, be a fucking man. I think that's what he said. I'm not really sure.
Trying to get my ass kicked.
Sometimes we're still learning this whole vibe and not talking over each other, so I think that might be what he said. I don't know. He said, get on the show, be a man. Actually, what he said, Pat, was, do you like soccer? He wants Pat Brady, Bill wants to know if you're a soccer fan or an ESPN fan. But we appreciate you guys stopping in and hanging out with us. Again, noslap.com, 500level.com for officially licensed UFC apparel. Code FightShow for both those sites, 20% off. And as always, Fight Show is powered by Buffed Energy. Fuck cans. Get buffed. You can see it down there at the bottom, buff.energy/FightShow. The discount will automatically be applied at our landing page. Caffeine, organic mushrooms, nootropics. Clean, clear energy, better than a can. It's also got electrolytes. Bill, appreciate you, bro. I will talk to you in the chat. We'll get you live on the internet next week to argue with some fans and probably call them some mean names.
Let's do that.
And try not to get kicked off Facebook. Until next week, guys. Fight Show episode 29, powered by Buffed Energy. We are out.